We are not just going to tell you that there exists a need for resilience. We are, as a panel, all going to help you understand how are we solving it. So we're taking that lens of let's solve it. It's okay to learn from the solve rather than, as he rightly said, focusing on just the science, because the science exists. I'll just allude to how do we do it currently. It is very important to understand that it's not that climate events don't happen around us. It's not that all of these, the entire power network, which is distribution, generation, transmission, they're doing it in their own ways. The only point that we have are three. Number one, what you see on the top is something that used to be called as a seasonal activity has become today more than seasonal. India is one country which has landslides from the Himalayas to rainfall, to heavy rainfall and floods, to coastal cyclones, to earthquakes, which is seismic zones. And at the same time, we are facing heat wave. 28, or all of 28 states have experienced it now because we are rising temperature. That's number one. It's no longer a one-time event. Number two is when these events happen, it's not just about lives, livelihoods. It's about the way we disrupt our services. So an artisan in Channapatna, or for that matter, a trade owner in Haryana, both of them face the brunt because they're not able to get access to services like power, like access to roads. So that's the second level of disruption that is happening, and it's happening frequent. The third is, we like it or we don't, extreme climate events may be just climatic. But when you face the climatic event, when you see that there is water all around your structure, a house or an office, please remember it's not just the fault of rainfall. Rainfall is innocent. It is also a huge amount of factors of geology, how our earth is. It's a factor of environment. How have we treated the environment around? Did we plant trees? Did we not plant trees? First principle thinking of science. And it is also about how have we constructed. Did we just construct it on lands that are not supposed to be constructed at all? So keeping that in mind, what I'm going to tell you is what should we look at when we are solving for resiliency? 6 parameters. We always say that it is good to have KPIs when we are solving for a problem. Right now, climate is considered, or these extreme climate events are considered as risks. We have to move from that conversation to decisions. And that's the premise of this team. The second, and even the pilot that we are establishing, that's the premise of how we can take risk conversation to decision, because risk is great to know, but what are you going to do about it? The second is operational dashboards. It is important to integrate this as part of the health of the DISCOM. So I love the initiative that PFI has, and this is a conversation that the entire PFI leadership shared with us, and we said, you know what, we can add resilience as a parameter for the scorecard that has been designed to be able to help the DISCOMs be more resilient. Like empower and enable them and help them understand. Third is regulation. We have spoken about it. I'm not going to allude more, but I absolutely align. Even as a technology provider, if you don't have this as part of the policy, it does not get into the nerve line of an organization or a sector. Value chain impact is very important for us. So usually we come across internationally, okay, help us only understand my substation risk. Problem. Substation alone is not enough. It goes through the entire line or chain of command. You have to have your DTs, you have to have your PRTs, you have to have your poles, you have to have all of them resilient to be able to actually ensure that your substation is delivering results. And that's what is called a value chain impact. Resilience as a service, it is important that the DISCOMs provide it to the rest of the world. Start with them and then give it early. And I love the last one. Everybody loves compliance. Huh? The first question we get in most of our rooms is, what is in it for me? In Hindi, I would say, compliance ka koi checklist hai kya? And it's a right question to ask. But the question, if we are solving for the compliance leaders, is can we convert your paper into decision making? You are complying as your KPI, but you are also enabling the organization to become resilient. Now it's a win-win. So on that note, I'm opening up a portal. I am hoping that the portal is on. This is a live demo. So my only submission is, a few of these locations are our customers. We are recognized and acknowledged by National Disaster Management Authority as the first disruptive software in what is called extreme climate events management. We are also recognized now by METI as the AI for all impact. So we are taking it to not just one sector, we are taking it to every sector that has critical infra, including the likes of energy and utilities. Now, how the user uses it is very simple. For a distribution company, let's say I am your subdivision manager, and I'm at your lowest level of decision making, but I'm the most empowered one because my KPIs are on the line. When there is a flood happening, when there is a landslide happening, it is my DTs, I take them very personally after having served for 15, 20 years in that, building that substation into its resiliency. So my name is Sandeep and I log in. What do I see? The first thing I see, it's a work environment. If you see this work environment, it gives you 14 days of advance notification. For the next 14 days, how is the rainfall gonna be like? How is the wind speed going to be? So if you're a wind turbine, or you're a tower, or you have a pole, you understand the propensity. If you are a pole which is surrounded by trees, you understand that decision making. Second thing, not just 14 days advance notification, you get a real-time alert. Based on the best data sets that we are uploading at the back end, what you get to understand 72 hours before is because of the last 3 days extreme temperature, which particular hotspots are going to be at risk. In other words, which hotspot is going to be very exposed, so that you can actually go and fix it for the DT, for the pole. Now that becomes a unique ID, right? Every asset is becoming like a single entity, and you're treating them for a single entity. The third thing that you also get to do here is you get to see all of it in a single dashboard, and I will take you through it. And the final one, there is a lot of reports for audit, for compliance, for decision making, for submission, so that they're not just paper, but they're co-authored reports by you. You take those decisions and analyze yourself, but you're explaining it in layman's terms. For example, a 15-year-old child who is studying these sciences will be able to read and understand the report, and we are making it as simple as possible. So let's show you first one. Fantastic. I'm going to take you through one of the regions that we have. This is a place called Shirala. Shirala is in Maharashtra. It's actually rural India. So while the overall area, if you see as a polygon, you will see a color called orange. Usually, all our climate models give you an understanding that the overall area is moderate risk. So we are very satisfied that as a subdivision manager, my division is here, I'll be saying, okay, no problem. I'm fine. My assets are gonna be fine. Fun fact, let me start magnifying. And let me start taking you to a substation here in Shirala, which we have mapped for one of our customers. There you go. If you see this, here as a small dot, Shirala substation is not at moderate risk. It's actually at a high risk. And that difference in the same area of Shirala, which is a very small village, if you see it's only 44 square kilometers, not very high. This decision making is an empowerment decision making for multiple events. Right now I have shown you for flood. We do it for all of these. All of these are modeled. The model is right now studying all of this at the basis 28 different parameters at the back end. More than 117 data sets that has been trained and tested in real-time events. 42 real-time events so far that we have been testing in India and worldwide. The fun part about this model is you give us any location and we will run this model for you in 30 minutes. 30 minutes is all it takes for us because this is real-time. If you want to update it in every 3 months, because Earth is not constant, your built environment, remember the 3 things I said, it's not the fault of rainfall. It's also a confluence of environment. If you let us or tell us that, okay, I want to see it every 3 months because I see a construction coming, a new railway line coming in, we'll run it again for you at no cost. That's the first one. The second one that I also want to show you is, as researchers and scientists in the room, one of the things that always excites us is what is called hazard view. And for hazard view, let me know when my time is up. 2 more minutes? Okay, fantastic. So when we see an location like this, let me change the location for you to a place called Bachwara. We mapped this for both rural and urban India. We are already there in 80 villages of India. Thanks to United Nations, thanks to the project we did with GIZ. Yeah, we have been logged out. Please bear with me on this. What we also help the entity is to help it understand on what does it mean for the overall health of the company. Remember I said compliance along with operational dashboard? An organization is able to understand that based on the TCFD matrix and based on ESG matrix, how does the extreme climate event correlate and talk to them? At what maturity are they at an overall organization level? And why are they at a particular? In other words, this becomes your health score. This becomes your company's or organization's health score. The subdivision has its own health score. All the 91 or 100 subdivisions can start having their own health score. They start working with each other on how can I make it better, cross-learning from each other. That's the second one. And the last one that I want to light up for you is what we call hub. Hub is a single information where all of the signs that you saw at the beginning of the conversation, all of them get translated, including vulnerability. Vulnerability means telling you that as part of that DT, as part of the PRT, as part of the pole, as part of the subdivision, how many communities around are also getting impacted. So it's not just about the asset. We are also involving the community, which the subdivision or the entity or the DISCOM entity is able to contribute, because that's the time when relief is required most. So if you know where to evacuate, it's a contribution you make as an entity, and not just have a decision on the where to put your crew during flood and put it early rather than waiting and getting stuck on roads, where to put the first overload and maintain the loads by not waiting for their 72 hours to happen. Now, I would love to have a detailed conversation, and that will be a part of the Q&A. We do have now, thanks to the Worldwide Forum of Environment, we have also involved ecosystem. Ecosystem means we have mapped rivers, agricultural land, cropland for every location that you think, including locations like Bombay, to all the way locations like Bachwara, which is there as a village.